Hello, Nebraska 4-H Corn Challenge Sustainability participants. This is lesson number 2 on how to use the Fieldprint calculator tool on the internet. On lesson number 2, we will go to fieldtomarket.org and we'll learn how to enter a crop along with irrigation information and other information needed under the crop rotation key. So using your favorite web browser, you go to www.fieldtomarket.org and go to Fieldprint Calculator and scroll down and log in. I assume you've already learned how to register and log into the site. Use your username and passcode and log in. So in the previous lesson, we should have that saved, and I have my 4-H challenge field near Wilbur saved, and I'm going to bring that up. It takes a little bit to load it. There, the Fieldprint calculator has found that field just northwest of town here. We had already completed that. We had completed the location. We had completed the soil type information. We are now ready for the crop rotation information. Now notice that 2015 is not highlighted yet. That will be highlighted soon. I'm going to go ahead and put 2014, even though these are records that are going to be saved for my 2015 crop. I can always go in and load 2014 into 2015. So I'm going to use 2014, and this is the corn challenge plot, so I'm selecting corn. This is where you could load 2014 for the 2015 crop year. That way you can get some things done earlier. Variety is optional. We can put the variety name in your corn challenge plot. Maybe you have multiple varieties, but that's optional. Don't necessarily have to put anything there. Under planting date, a lot of the corn has gone in the ground already here in April. Planting progress has really moved. I'm recording this on the 22nd. Actually, today is the 28th. And let's assume that the crop was planted today, April 28th. On the seed treatments, most of the time, 4-Hers are going to be putting base seed treatments here. Now, if you're experimenting and putting extra fungicide, extra insecticide, or extra plant growth regulator on the corn seed that is beyond what is already there on the base treatments, then you need to choose one of these others on the list. Most of the time, you'll be using base seed treatment. On the seeding rate, what is the normal seeding rate in the field? If you're doing a plant population study, high versus low population in your challenge plot, use the seeding rate that was the predominant rate in the field. Let's say this field was predominantly at 32,000. This is the spacing of your planter in inches. In this case, it was a 30-inch planter. On the tile drain system, that's typical of farm fields in Iowa, Minnesota, east and north of here. This is where you have tile drainage throughout the field. If you want to learn more about what that actually is, you can click on the question marks for added information, where it says density tiles are typically spaced 60 to 100 feet apart in the field to keep the field well drained. That's different than the tiles that we use for terraces and like that. So most of you are going to be marking no tile draining system. We want to keep our water on the fields in Nebraska because often we're short water. Irrigation, for the dryland plots, you'll put no. and then you'll just proceed to put the growing season rainfall and your yield this fall. The growing season rainfall will be between May 1 and September 1. Under irrigation, once again, that's what you have your rain gauge for. Start keeping records May 1st through September 1. Put your irrigated yield at harvest time in here. And also put the yield of a dryland field nearest to this field that would be a comparable dryland rate if you did not irrigate. Sometimes you would have that information right here from the corner field if that was cropped with dryland corn. This would be a good example right here in the green of a dryland corner, similar soil type, what the yield would be if you did not irrigate. Under irrigation method, most of you are going to have a groundwater well. It's possible that you're pumping from a lake or river or stream, but check the one that applies. Most of you, it'll be a groundwater well. In this case, it was. And let's assume this year that I pumped a total of 6 inches of water. This is in acre inches across the field. Pumping pressure is important on how much energy you use. These are book values based on standards. And this is pressure at the pump. And so there's a range given here. This particular pivot was set up for 41 PSI. So I have to click that particular range. The pumping depth is, we need more explanation here. And under the help message, we need to define lift as the distance between the well's surface water level, mid-season ideally, and the center of the outlet pipe that comes out of the ground. And so estimate that as good as you can. Just remember, lift is not the depth of the well, how deep it is totally. Okay? It's from the well water surface to the center of the outlet pipe. In my case, the estimated lift that we're pumping is 76 to 125 feet deep. It was estimated at this location that the depth was at 85. The well energy source could be diesel, could be electric, natural gas, propane. Select the proper source. In this case, it's diesel engine. If I would have records for how much diesel fuel was used during the irrigation season, you would put the actual gallons of diesel here. If you have that, go ahead and put it. It's much more accurate. If you don't, the program will put in a book value for its estimated diesel use. Under share of economic value, most of the time, 100% of your crop is going to the elevator for sale. Sometimes, particularly with wheat, you might harvest straw off there. For a wheat example, under this, the value of the straw was worth about 24% of the total value. The grain was worth 76%. So in this example, you would put 76 and 24. Sometimes with corn, if you sell off residue in the fall and you bale up tailings and sell that to a feed yard, you would go through this example under the help message and calculate out the proper percentage. How much to grain, how much to the stocks or fodder. Was the previous crop residue burned? I hope not. That residue is really important to us in Nebraska. It helps us save moisture. It helps gain soil carbon slowly over time if we don't till the ground. It provides more even temperature of the soil in that canopy. and it 30% cover, residue cover, can give us a 60% decrease in soil erosion. So I know this field was not burned, and so I put no. The previous commodity on this field last year in 2014, it was soybeans. And so I'm going to click on beans. So that's it. We can hit save. Always remember to hit save. Now, this gives me a special flag. You must specify a yield. You must specify an estimated non-irrigated yield. You might recall I had not done that because it's not harvest time yet. So I'm going to go ahead and put some estimates in here. Let's say our average is 15 inches of growing season rainfall. Our average irrigated yield is 215 bushel corn. And our average dryland yield for the area is 155. Now we need to remember to go back in and change these in the fall to the accurate information, whereas this is all done. So now let's see if we can save it. There you go. Now we've got a head start on the information that we need to put into the Fieldprint calculator. Our next lesson will be under management. Thanks for listening.